Call us on your cell phone. Culinary Hotline Bling. That can only mean one thing.
Hey, call us on your cell phone, find us on Facebook on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's time for the Culinary Hotline Bling! Ching, ching, ching! The crowd goes wild. Yes, welcome back to another installment of the Culinary Hotline, where we welcome Chef Clem, our host, of course, to help us with any of the culinary conundrums that you might have had over the past week. Give us a call on 021 110 552. You can find us on Facebook. Let us know what has been confusing you, and we are here to help. But not before we reflect on a quick conversation that was had earlier on between Clem and Ryle earlier on. You guys opened up a can of worms.
Wow.
Or should I say a can of beans?
A can of beans.
Yeah.
And it's happening. The floor's vibing with this. If you were a vegetable, what would you be?
If you were a vegetable. On Facebook, we got some great comments that came through. One from Navia saying, if I were a vegetable, I'd be a potato because they're versatile. You can make anything with them. Fries, mashed potatoes, wedges, etc. It's not a boring veg.
It's not.
Hey.
It's not.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to hear another one?
Yeah, please.
Bling King says, I would be a carrot. I want to see clear and beautiful. Chili,
Yeah.
I want to, what? Also probably chili, I want a hot truth talkins and real thing.
Whoa!
I have no idea what that means, but it sounds provocative.
Provocative.
It's
You said
provocative.
you'd be a plantain. Tell me why.
You know, because they are plentiful and quite abundant. You know,
Yes.
they feed families, they nurture and take care of families.
Okay, I dig it. I dig it.
That vibe.
Yeah?
And I think they're quite a close relation to bananas as well, so they've got a bit of sweetness on the inside as well.
Absolutely,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. I think I'm coming through and I'm saying, I'm gonna be an onion.
You want to be an onion?
Like there's layers. The layers, yeah?
What layers?
Yeah. And someone said earlier, and when I open up, make people cry. Make people cry. I'm an onion.
What is going on? The levels is too much. We got another comment. Let's look at which one. From Kashifa says, I'd be a bean. Simple reason why? Because my name is Buenchi.
Okay, I want to drop something. I want to drop. Wow, guys. Wow, guys. I'm loving
That's
it.
brilliant. I love it, though.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Yeah.
Keep it coming.
Yeah, listen, we got our first call. Do we? Yes, we do have our first caller. Taisha is on the line calling us all the way from KZN.
Oh, I got
Taisha's call.
Hello, Uncle Chad.
Hello, Taisha. How are you?
Okay, speaker.
I'm fine, and you?
Oh, we are so good, and it's great to have you.
you.
Uncle Clem.
Oh, Uncle Clem. Taisha, how are you doing today, Taisha?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good. Taisha, if you were a vegetable, which vegetable would you be?
I would like to be a mushroom.
I like it.
Mushroom.
I love it. Okay, cool.
Very
What's your
cool,
question
very
for
cool.
us this morning, Taisha?
I would love to know how to make a bread dough. Do you use all-purpose cake flour or self-raising?
Okay, so making a bread dough. What's the best way to make a bread dough?
So what I absolutely love is the recipe Teresa made earlier, self-raising flour and yogurt. It's the easiest bread dough you can possibly make.
Okay.
It doesn't need a lot of kneading. It doesn't need a long proving time. It's the reaction between the yogurt and the raising agent in the flour that gives you a beautiful lift, and it gives you a beautiful crust on the outside with a fluffiness on the inside, which is what you want from a good loaf of bread.
Okay.
So what I did was I've got my self-raising flour in here, and I've started adding my yogurt. And the yogurt you use is a plain yogurt. But get creative a little bit down the line. Add a bit like a flavored yogurt in there if you want to make like a sweet-ish bread. But the plain yogurt works really well with this. It does need a little bit. Essentially, it's a two-ingredient bread, which is the flour and the yogurt. But I feel like it does need a little bit of salt, and it does need a little bit of sugar. So all you're going to do is you're going to mix this to make a simple dough. And once it forms this beautiful dough ball, you're good to go.
Okay.
Then all I say is, my one recommendation with this one, let it rest for about 10 minutes. Give the flour a chance to be absorbed by the moisture of the yogurt, and then pop it on your baking tray. Maybe create like a little beautiful pattern on there. Cross it with a little T.
Yeah.
For
exactly. Score it.
Taisha.
Yeah, and for Taisha.
Taisha got also like a. You gotta say Taisha's name with a next like Taisha. What's your name? Taisha. You got Taisha. This bread is for you. So easy. Okay. So what you're gonna do, Taisha, is you make that dough just like I've done right now. And like I said, you just needed to like a simple little. This is a small version of the bread that I'm doing right now,
Yes,
but
you need more flour, I
you'd
can
make a
see
bigger
that.
one. You make a bigger bread. This is just for example. And once you knead this into a beautiful dough, shape it, shape it, shape it. It even looks like a scone right now. But like I said, you'd make a bigger version of this.
Yes.
And then pop it on a baking tin, in a baking tray, in the oven. 35 minutes later, a beautiful crusty bread is what you're gonna get.
Wonderful.
This is what I suggest you always start with when you're making breads. Then move on to the yeast bread, but this is where you start. That's all you need for a beautiful bread, Taisha.
Excellent. All right, so Taisha, try that out at home and let us know how your bread turns out. You're gonna send us pictures, right?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
You're most welcome,
You're the
Taisha.
sweetest. Have a lovely day. Brilliant stuff there. I like that. And Taisha would like to be a mushroom.
I like it.
Huh?
I dig it. It's different. We haven't had that yet.
The scientist said he wants to be a mushroom as a vegetable. You know why?
Why?
Because he's a fungi.
Oh, I would make a joke after that one, but there's not much room for my humor after that one.
Okay.
I wish we could hear the viewers at home laughing, because right now, the audience we have.
There would be silence, just like there is on set right now. Anywho, let's go on to our next question. We got a question from Juliet Tebogo Malebana, who wants to know, saying, morning, I always struggle with making a wrap or roti dough. Is it roti dough, I think? Always turns out dry and too crunchy.
Okay, let's start off
what's
with
the problem there?
the roti. Let's start off there.
Roti?
Yeah. Oh, we don't go there. We asked this question on social media a while ago. It started
And it's just,
it
hasn't been resolved.
It's divided people.
All right.
So the one thing about roti is there's a process to it, right? So it starts with flour, water, some melted butter goes in there, salt and sugar. And then you let it rest, okay? And this is the beautiful dough that you end up with. When you roll out your roti...
Is it the butter that gives that oily, glossy finish?
The glossy finish to it. And you're going to play on that oiliness. You're not going to roll your roti out on flour. You're going to roll it out on either melted butter or oil, okay, like I've done over here.
Because the idea is to keep it moist.
And I think that's where you might have gone wrong.
Where it becomes very dry and
rolling
crunchy.
it out on the flour, that dough is going to absorb all the extra flour, which you don't want it to do. You want to keep it moist, like we said. And then the next step, we don't stop with the butter just yet. So you take your butter and you kind of dot it on your dough.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So similar to puff pastry, roti has those beautiful layers that you're supposed to have in this flatbread. That's what makes it different to any other flatbread.
Yeah?
And that comes from the layering of extra fat, okay? So you dot it in there, then you roll it up. And again, this is super sticky at the stage, which is fine, which is good. You roll it up. And it's like, and in all honesty, this is a labor of love.
Yes.
It's also good in your neighborhood. Before you buy a house, make sure you have a good roti person in your area.
Oh, yeah?
Because you laugh. You laugh. That's why Durban doesn't want to move down to Cape Town, because we don't have so few. Okay, so what you do is you've now rolled up your butter inside your dough. Then you create this beautiful little snail out of it. So you roll it up, you make it look like a little snail, and this goes into the fridge for about an hour, because now you want the butter that's inside there to firm up.
Yes.
Okay, so from here, imagine this has now been resting. You'll notice the dough goes firmer as well as the butter on the inside, and then you start pressing down.
Yes.
Also keeping it oily, keeping it oily, keeping it oily. And as you press down, you create those extra layers, little bits of bubbles of air.
I see that. Oh, is that where those come from?
That's where those come from.
Okay.
So you can either do it by hand or you can use your rolling pin. Just be gentle with the rolling pin.
Yeah, because the butter's going to smash out,
You don't want to smash it. It goes into the pan, right? And it's going to cook. And as soon as it browns, you turn over the other side. Another important thing, and it's going to take a few minutes to do it now. When it comes out the pan, and you've got this beautiful crispy roti, you take it and you smush it.
Huh?
Yeah, you kind of move it in together, and that way you separate those layers that you've worked so hard to form. That's the trick. So roll out on the oil, stud it with the butter, let it chill in the fridge, roll it out, and cook it down. That's the roti, right? That's the roti or the roti. Now the flatbread. Again, start off simple. Go with that 2-ingredient dough that we just used for the bread.
Yes.
2-ingredient dough. To make it a little different, I've added some black sesame seeds and white sesame seeds. And that's purely just to add a bit of crunch, a bit of flavor. The base is those 2 ingredients, the yogurt, self-raising flour, but then you make it your own. Spring onions could go in there, a bit of chili could go in there, a bit of spinach could go in there.
Yeah.
To add a bit of greenery to it. And then cut it off into pieces. And you're going to roll this out. We're going to actually fry this one off.
Yes.
Super simple. Get a nice ball.
Go. You're going to roll it out.
Roll it out.
All right.
Like, let's maybe even do like those beautiful naan shapes that Teresa did.
Yeah, and then...
Which is also flatbread.
Pop it in the pan, right?
Pop it in the pan, get it in your pan.
I tell you what, listen,
pan.
while we do that, we're going to get our flatbread into the pan over there. The lines are still open, 021-110-552. Give us a call, hit us up on Facebook with your questions. The culinary culinary hotline, bling! Ding, ding, ding! We'll return very shortly.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Call us on your cell phone. Culinary hotline bling. That can only mean one thing.
Yes, that's why it's called live TV. Welcome back to it. Your feel-good breakfast show is live, large and in charge. As we prepare very hastily throughout the ad break for another segment of the Culinary Hotline Bling.
Ting, ting, ting!
Are we all set?
Wow, that was so quick.
Everyone breathing?
I mean, with the previous segment, you saw flour everywhere, and now it's just like, woof.
Yeah, like literally in 1.5 minutes, basically 45 seconds, this entire thing had to be cleaned up, cleared up, and new kind of ingredients put on this. I mean, well done to the team. Absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. All right, but of course, this is the part where we ask you to give us a call, 021-110-552, and give us those questions that have really been confusing you. But as early on, we also referred to our comments that we found on Facebook when we asked you, if you were a vegetable, which one would you be and why? Marlene Barte says, a potato. They can fry me, braai me, and roast me. Ooh, lekker, lekker.
People are loving this,
If you can refer to yourself as lekker, that's always a good thing. Lindy Gumeda says, I would be a sweet potato because it's so sweet and versatile. The orange-fleshed one. Hey.
Yeah, it's not just any sweet potato. The orange-fleshed one.
Tito says, I'd be an onion because it opens blood vessels wider and makes extra flow of blood in the body. To an extent, it makes a person more active towards everything.
Wow. Wow. With this coming through with the science and the philosophies.
Oh, my God.
It's not just an easy question. It takes some thought. Take some thought. All right.
All right. We got a question from Colleen from Cape Town who says, when she makes a creme caramel dessert and the dessert is completed and is ready to serve, she's ready to turn out the dessert and then the caramel runs down, smash. But then she loses the caramel layers that she wants on top. So Colleen wants to know, how do you keep the sugar caramel from running? Could it be set with gelatine, or what do you use?
First of all, let me just say, that's the way it's supposed to be. So you're not doing it wrong.
Oh,
you're doing it absolutely right.
Okay.
Creme caramels are supposed to have that beautiful caramel that flows over your baked custard. So if it doesn't flow, you've done something wrong.
Okay.
But it seems that she doesn't want that flowy that caramel. She wants something more set. There's an absolutely easy way. Make a creme brulee.
Yeah, okay.
A creme brulee is basically, it's also a baked custard, and then we sprinkle the sugar over the top, and we just burn the sugar either under your grill or with the blowtorch, and you get that crust of caramel, which it seems she wants that texture. Another good way is if you don't have well, you would have had to bake your creme brulee, but if your grill doesn't go hot enough to just char that and like burn that sugar like you want, take a pan and just melt some sugar down, just sugar in a pan, and make a beautiful caramel, and then pour that over your baked custard. And that way you'll get a beautiful set crunch on the top.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't worry, you're doing the absolutely right thing. If your caramel doesn't run over your creme caramel, you're not doing it right. So you're doing absolutely the right thing.
Good stuff there, Colleen. Then also Scheherazade. Oh, wow, I've never heard that name in a long time. Scheherazade from Mitchell's Plain said, when making a lemon meringue, she wants to know what do you add to the topping to make it stiff? To the meringue?
Yes. I got you. Okay, so Kat, want to give me a hand?
Yes, I'm ready.
So we got some egg whites over here, and here's the one thing we always say: the fresher the better. When it comes to egg whites for a meringue, it's fine.
Don't worry.
Like a few days old is perfectly fine.
Okay.
You kind of see that the older the egg white is, the stiffer it actually becomes.
Okay.
But I'm not talking about like an egg that's a bit fraught. No. Just like maybe like a week old, you're perfectly fine.
Okay, good.
So another tip is to have your egg whites at room temperature. The egg gets incorporated a lot easily when it's actually at room temperature. And another thing, when you separate your egg yolks from your egg whites, make sure you don't get any egg yolk in the whites.
Okay.
The fat content that's in the yolk actually stops your whites from holding onto the air. You'll see it'll just collapse.
Wow.
Right, so if I can ask you to start just getting some air into our whites, and you will see it's going to start turning a beautiful white color, and that white is basically the protein in the egg holding on to the oxygen that you kind of, the air that you're kind of getting in there.
Wow, man.
So you're doing a good job. Next thing is to start gradually adding your sugar. What I recommend is either using caster sugar or like a very fine sugar, which I would recommend caster sugar is the one.
Yeah?
If you use a normal sugar, you'll find that the granules of sugar are still kind of going to be in your meringue. It's going to take a lot more work to actually get that sugar melted in your whites. So I'm going to start, and you can keep on going.
So now, those air pockets that the protein was trying to hold on to are now being populated with sugar granules in them.
And cool scientific fact, sugar cooks eggs.
What?
Yeah,
How?
absolutely. Hey, I don't know, but that's what it does. The sugar actually cooks your eggs. That's why when you mix sugar and normal whole eggs, you'll notice the color changes completely and the texture changes. That's actually the eggs cooking.
That's madness.
Okay, next one is a secret ingredient. Cream of tartar.
Okay.
That stabilizes what essentially this is, a meringue. It stabilizes it, and it will hold those beautiful peaks there. So, in we go with cream of tartar. That's going in there. And it also gives a slight tang to it, which is nice because meringues just have sugar in them. So it's just very sweet. That little bit of the cream of tartar gives it a little bit of acidity to it. A you're doing an amazing job. So
This is very therapeutic.
Is it? Where are you right now?
I am in a cloud of deliciousness and just frolicking. I'm frolicking now.
I love it.
In the clouds.
So you're doing a great job.
Is this how marshmallows are made?
Yes. But with the marshmallow, you pour in a little bit of sugar that's been melted, mix it in there, and then it'll kind of set it as well. So you're doing a good job. Look at that. So, okay, also, happy that you did that. At this stage right now, we call that a soft peak. The peaks kind of collapse. If you had to go for about 5 more minutes, you get a stiff peak. The stiff peak is literally when it would hold stiff on this and you would wobble, 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 it wouldn't wobble. It'll just give you a firm, like, so it'll stick to your tongues. Now, a lot of people buy their lemon curd, which I'm all for it. Like, make your life easy. But I've actually found a recipe where you don't have to, like, stand over a double boiler and make the curd. You can actually bake your curd with your meringue. This is a great one. So you got some egg yolks in here, just the yolks. So we separated, the yolks went here, whites went there. All you do now is you're going to add some good, delicious sweetness with some condensed milk.
Okay. Oh, lovely, lovely.
This is the good stuff.
Any excuse.
Any excuse. And then we're going to add that beautiful lemon flavor from freshly squeezed lemon juices. Lemon juices?
Lemon juices.
From lemons. And for a true story, Nicole actually picked these lemons herself. I kid you not. She picked it from her sister's lemon tree.
And then?
All you're going to do now, mix that in there. The beautiful tang flavor goes in there. We're going to pour this onto our base.
Okay.
And these are just tennis biscuits, crushed it up, a little bit of butter. Pour the base over.
Hey, I tell you what, you can find all of this on our website, expressoshow.com, and of course, watch all these videos again on YouTube. But thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you again bright and early tomorrow morning. Thanks very much, team. Hope you all enjoyed it. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Are we done?
We're done.
Oh, my goodness.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.